Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are having a good old yap session today, girl. We are playing in makeup and we are just going to talk. I'm just going to ramble at you and hopefully you understand what the heck I'm talking about, because I was confusing myself at some points and I'm just like, huh? What? Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about like what we're looking forward to in 2025 and like goals and that kind of thing, and like why I don't really like making goals and you know. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about some health updates and just generally like what's been going on with life and big lifestyle changes and all those things and just this weird little new journey that's happening. And we talk about a lot of stuff. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. And we're going to play with some new makeup and some favorites from 2024. I've got the new Huda powder here, the Easy Bake in Birthday Cake, the bright pink shade. We're going to play with that. We got Icy Nude from Huda as well. New brow product from NYX, from Benefits. What else do we have here new? A L'Oreal highlighter that we're going to discuss. And yeah, we're just going to sit down and play and have a good time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just get into the video. Also, it's snowing. I think the whole country might be covered in snow today. I don't know. It's snowing in New Orleans. Okay, hi, hello. We are barefaced today, completely barefaced starting out because I have some new makeup things I want to put on my face, and I thought we could do that together. So, first thing is brows. I've got a new little brow pencil here from NYX. This is their Blade and Shade, which is super cute. This has a really neat angle on it, so you can get little fine hair strokes, and then a flat side to fill in like the bulk of your brow. So here's what it looks like. It self sharpens, so it stays having that little bit of a sharper angle there that you can get the little hair-like strokes with, which is really cool. And yeah, it's kind of a pretty neat innovation. It just has like the plastic bit basically just comes up a little bit higher on one side, and it's really teeny tiny. So yeah, it's quite an effective little pencil. So far, I've very much been enjoying it. I have the shade Ash Brown, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fill in the brows with this. So far, I have found the shape of this to be very useful and quite handy, because it is that perfect mixture of the micro pencil that I love with an even sharper edge that you can really get in there with. So I'm going to start by coming across the bottom as I usually do with my brows. Just defining that. But it's kind of an ingenious shape. It's like, why hasn't this already been a thing where it keeps it sharp like that? So now what I'm going to do is take it on the little flat side and just fill in the bulk of the brow here. So basically turn it to where it's laying like that, so against my brow. Sorry, my stomach just growled really loud. And I'm going backwards through just to lay down some product on the skin. Then I'm going to brush and then take it where it's long ways, hot dog style, and swoop. And look at that, little hairs. Just kind of perfect everything. There we go. Pretty cool. Now I'm doing this before my foundation or anything else. All I've done is my skincare. So I might come back, and touch them up after the fact. I just really like to do the brows first. It's a habit now to do that before I do anything else. And I just feel like the product goes on better when I do. So I'll do the same over here. And I'm going to come back to the brows towards the end because I do have a new brow gel I want to talk about. Pretty cool. I'm a fan of this. It's a very nice pencil. And the color match is pretty good for me, the ash brown, because it has a little hint of warm in there. That's a little kind of unexpected for an ashy shade, but it matches me really well. Because I do have a little bit of red in my hair naturally too. Just take a little Q-tip. And I usually just kind of go like this around the brow just to tidy things up a little. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with a little bit of Primer Potion from Urban Decay. Alright, and then I'm just going to kind of even out my eyelids a bit with a touch of concealer. But I thought it'd be kind of fun today to do some new makeup and incorporate some of those favorites from 2024. And NYX Pro Fix Stick is definitely a favorite. Just a little bit right here. That's all I need. I just want to even out a touch on the lids there and just kind of brighten up underneath the brow. So it just gives everything a really neat appearance. Now for eyeshadow, which I'm going to go ahead and start with just because I want to, in case I get some fallout, because this palette can get a little messy. We're going to play with the Icy Nude, which is really an apt palette to play with today because guess what? It's snowing. We've got a few inches on the ground of nice, fluffy, legit snow. It is snowing in New Orleans. They're having snowball fights on Bourbon Street today and skiing. There's a blizzard warning for the Gulf. What? What is happening? But yeah, we get some beautiful fluffy snow outside and well, Icy Nude's the perfect palette to play with today. And I want to do something really cool tone and I want to go into the shade called Iced Out. I mean, it's so appropriate. It's the perfect palette for today. So yeah, let's get started. I will put the shades I'm using on the side of the screen so you can keep up and see what I'm doing. But I've been reaching into this palette a little bit since I got it. I'm very much enjoying it. I feel like I haven't had a chance to really talk about it a whole lot because we had favorites week there and just been a little busy, hectic with holidays and New Year really. Been a lot going on. So I feel like I haven't had a chance to really talk to you guys about the palette and sit down and catch up with you either, outside of vlogging. Like in my vlogs, I sit there and I yap and talk about all kinds of stuff, but not everybody watches the vlogs and people really do enjoy these Get Ready With Me videos apparently because you let me know in the comments. So here we are. It's just been a minute. I feel like I couldn't get my thoughts together for a lot of things and it was just too rambly and too all over the place. But here we are. I'm going to start with the shade called Oneself and we're going to dust that across the lid and into the socket on a fluffy brush. But yeah, hopefully you guys, your New Year's have been going well so far. Mine's been pretty good. Like there's been hiccups and things that I like want to complain about, then I realize, you know what? It ain't that bad. It's stuff that I want to be very first worldy complain about, you know what I mean? Like very such trivial kind of minute things to complain about and realizing that they might be actually blessings in disguise at the same time. So yeah, that's how my New Year started out, where I was thinking, oh no, you know, little hectic things or little annoying things were happening. Like I have to get a tooth pulled. I was supposed to have it pulled today, but the whole state is shut down. Louisiana is out of order today and tomorrow because of the snow, so the dentist office closed. But yeah, wisdom tooth started acting up right at the new year, but they gave me some medication, some antibiotics, and it settled down and hasn't bothered me since, so that's fine. You know, I want to fuss about being diagnosed with Hashimoto's and all of that, but you know, I wanted to be a negative Nancy about these things and just be like, can you guys believe it? No, my blood work came back great, so the medication is working. Things are getting back on track with that. And do you know what caused a flare-up? It's the silliest thing. I quit smoking. And apparently when you quit smoking, it can affect your thyroid. And if Hashimoto's cause a flare-up if you already have it. I quit smoking like probably 6 months ago now, I think. Yeah, back in June. So it took a little time, you know, to get things on track. But hey, looky here. My medication is working. I'm starting to feel better. So that's a good thing. Good things. I had a foot appointment with a foot doctor, podiatrist. And I was, because I was having some foot issues and have a bone spur. And turns out I have Achilles tendonitis. He sends me to PT after all these x-rays and stuff. And PT's basically like, oh, you just need to stretch your calf out. Pay us $100 a visit. It will stretch your calf. And I'm like, well, I can do that at home because sports medicine's a little bit of a side quest for me. So I just thought you guys would do a little more treatment, not just some light strength training and stretching. I can do that myself. So you know what I did after my PT appointment? I went straight to the gym and had leg day on my birthday, and that was a really nice way to celebrate my 38th birthday, was at the gym. Anyway, now we're going to go into this shade called Avalanche, which is the matte white, and I want to put that kind of on this inner part and under the brow bone. But yeah, so that's what I did for my 38th birthday, which was last week. Was I went to the gym after physical therapy, after being really aggravated about them. Like I really wanted to be super aggravated that that was basically all that they were gonna do, is just do light strength training and stretching. I'm like, girl. And it was gonna cost $500 for the first 5 visits with my insurance, because I hadn't hit a deductible yet because it's January. And they want to see me 3 times a week for $100 each. I'm like, to stretch my calf out, I'm like, I think I can do this myself. I have a massage gun. I think I got this. So, yeah, but I really wanted to be kind of fussy about that. But then I realized, I can fix this myself pretty much. And like, why am I upset? Because I've been doing the stretches, and you know what? It feels a million times better. And yeah, also been incorporating in some more hip stretches, which was much needed. But something about going to that PT appointment, it made me realize that I'm not as bad off as I thought I was. Like, I had gotten really in my head thinking I was back at square one when the first time I went to PT, where I could barely walk, which admittedly I had been feeling that way, but it was more because of the flare-up and just needing to stretch. And I was just really kind of had gotten pretty down on myself. And then the appointment and talking to the physical therapist and stuff, realized, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. You know what? I got this. And that was really good. So yeah, I feel like that was a bit of some prayers answered. And the fact that the blood work came back good is a big deal with the thyroid, because that's been what's been the biggest hurdle for me. Okay, let's go over to the shade called Poised, which is that nice gray taupe shade, taupey gray. And we're going to take that right out here to start. And we're going to come into the crease. I'm real hyper today because I've done the coffee no breakfast thing. Woo! And I just haven't gotten around to eating yet, so. And I wanted to sit down and hang out with you guys. So there's that. That's like a little health update, I guess. Feeling good. Had a touch of food poisoning last month, but that was like a one little instance of whatever, and then all better. So I'm a little mad at Popeye's chicken, and I'm not sure if it was the chicken, because there was a piece of chicken that was real kind of like, nope, and didn't eat it. I don't know if it was that or just my own stomach issues that caused that. I don't know. But yeah, it's another thing. The stomach issues are settling down, so that's good. Like, there's no reason to be fussy. And we have a beautiful snow day today. Oh, and the gym by my house that I go to, they are also going to start having meal preps that you can buy in a refrigerated section, pre-done meal preps that you can just go in and pick up, like fast food option basically, but it's healthy. Yes. Yes. I'm so excited about that. because it's gonna be so convenient because it's like literally right there. I can just grab a couple of them and have them for dinner. Like, that's awesome. And the price point is like, the price is really fair. It's like $11 in tax. Like, that's fast food price. Okay, I'm taking that same shade Poised, just buffing it out a little more with a fluffy brush. So me and my friend, we've been talking about, like, you know, trying to get ourselves together health-wise, because we've had just various things happen, like perimenopause, Hashimoto's, autoimmune stuff, just like all these little things. And then like little joint stuff join in, like she hurt her knee, just out of the blue, ankle problems, it just all these little things. So we were talking today about, like, we need to get ourselves together and how to kind of go about that. Maybe think of it more of a bigger way of, you know, and trying to figure out, like, you know, what can we do to help ourselves, basically. And so we're gonna look into like all supplements, talk to our doctors about that. I know there's a couple of supplements I can add in, and we're gonna try to take out the gluten because it's inflammatory, I believe, and sugar. We're gonna try to do, you know, we're gonna try our best here, and maybe thinking of incorporating that into maybe making it more of a monastic thing, not just something we're doing for ourselves, but doing this for our loved ones and to better, you know, serve our communities and our work, you know, and our churches and our families. Like, thinking of it that way and not just making it about ourselves. And that could be maybe the little kick in the butt we needed. That I know I needed. And maybe it can help with avoiding the self-destructive behaviors and self-sabotage that I know I am very much prone to doing. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade called She's Rich. And I'm going to take that on this little kind of smudge brush and pat that right at the lash line and kind of come out like that. And then we're going to blend it. I'm just going to do that on each side. I don't know why I picked this brush up. It's just yapping and kind of did. But, you know, just kind of almost like taking ourselves out of the equation. Think of it more as an act of love for not only ourselves, but for our families and for everything else. Because we can, I think, just do better in life if we're happy and healthy, like mentally, our mental health in a good place and physically in a good place. And back to my other little brush I was just using. This is a Sony Kashuk brush. It's usually linked below. I'm just going to apply that to this outer corner here. Like, even though some of these changes we're talking about making, which I've made before, I know that they help. You know, they're not going to cure something. They're not going to fix everything. But what they can do is work up here. Like, especially like with going to the gym regularly and kind of, you know, watching the gluten intake and sugar intake and these things. Up here, it helps. It gives you a little sense of control, I think, that sometimes when you're dealing with like an autoimmune disease or something, you feel like you have zero control over anything. And sometimes it's hard to let go and relinquish control. And that is one of those things. Just is. And maybe by doing these little things, it gives that sense of control. You know that you're trying, you're doing your best, doing what you can. And to me, that gives me a little bit of like peace and mental fortitude, I guess, strengthening that I need to be able to deal with feeling like my body's falling apart. Because I feel like, well, you know what? I'm making an effort here. The rest is what it is. This year's kind of theme, I guess, will be surrendering to the things that I know I can't do anything about, but also where I can have some effect and that is within my ability to change and work on, do it, you know? That's, I think, maybe where we're working. And I think last year I spoke about one of my things being balance. And that's going to continue to be the theme throughout this year is balance. And also being more, this last year I was very, I think, reclusive and kind of withdrawn from a lot of life and just, I don't know, just kind of on my own feeling. I don't know why. Was hiding? I don't know. I just didn't do a whole lot. It wasn't social and out there. And I've realized these last month, really, last few weeks, how important it is to have social interactions. So that's something I'm going to work to definitely increase and prioritize, is not just being a little loner at home and going into this little shell. That, no, get out there a little more, live your life, and do what you can. Okay, I'm going to grab an eyeliner real quick. I'm going to take this Feline liner from MAC. I don't know why all the writing is just rubbed right off of this one. Anyway, it's just a black liner. I'm going to take this along the upper lash line. But yeah, the last kind of 6 months of 2024, I'd made some pretty big changes, lifestyle-wise and spiritually. And it's just kind of steadily progressed from there. And if you watch my vlogs, you know what quitting smoking was probably that biggest thing, which I think it's maybe like a symbolic kind of thing, because I feel like it was a ultimatum that I gave myself. It was continue smoking and like being that self-sabotaging person, because I mean it's a very detrimental thing to your health. And also, so like, it represented more than just smoking in itself. It represented just a terrible dark path in general. So it became kind of symbolic of that, and just this dark cycle of self-sabotage and never progressing in life, and just anxiety and depression, and doing something that I know is hurting me, weak willpower, that kind of thing. It was representing a lot than just what it was. So I just decided to stop, because on the flip side, the other path was the symbolic thing, was the gym, was being healthy. And within that was representing, which I kind of didn't put that much into it, I think, at the time, but also it kind of did. Like, there was a part of me that just felt like I was being guided to do this. Like, it's gonna sound a little woo-woo, but it felt like I had like God was helping me with it. It felt like it was outside of me to do this, and to have been able to do it. The strength and the willpower and the want, the drive to do it. It felt divine in a way. It felt like it definitely was being helped along somehow spiritually there. So anyway, that the good path, what I'm going to call it, the path of light, that I was kind of toggling between there, represented more than just obviously the gym, but that was like symbolic of taking control of my life and doing what's best for myself, like I was just talking about, doing what I can. And also it was it represented a spiritual side. It represented like, on that side, was God, was Jesus on that side. And then on this side was Satan. Like it felt like that. It felt like the two angels on your shoulder. That's what it felt like. And I think for a long time I was always didn't want to choose that path, the darker path, but there was just this self-sabotage part of me that's like, whatever, and did it anyway. And this time, like this year, like, back in June, it was like, it felt like God told me just to stop and to do this. Like, it felt guided. And I know that's going to sound crazy to a lot of people. And I would have told you the same thing. I would have said, girl, you crazy. And I might have said that. I would have definitely thought the same thing if someone had said this to me probably a year ago. But I don't know. Something's changed. Something changed in me. I'm tight-lining, by the way. But anyway, it was like that. It was the slow buildup of a metamorphosis over the course of a year prior, with just trying to climb out of a hole that I feel like I was in. And it was as if the old me slowly peeling away, slowly dying to the world, and the new me being reborn. That's what it felt like. And it was like, it's been a very slow process. Then it's like an all of a sudden thing. And yeah, and it's a continuing process. And it's something that I think never ends. You're never done. You're always growing and learning and evolving mentally and spiritually. It's a beautiful process, though. And it was one I think I just kind of neglected. It was like I just was just no before. And now it was like, no, it's time. Just, I see people say like that they've been called, like that being a turn of phrase I've seen. And I never understood what that meant. Maybe I still probably don't. Since I'm not super well versed in a lot of the vocabulary around Christianity. Like what I call like church talk. I don't know like what words mean, and I've had to do so much Googling with that. Like I kept seeing people say that they felt convicted. I'm like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? And like sanctification and theosis and all these different words from different denominations stuff, and it's just learning what all that means in the Christian context is totally different. I may not fully understand what some of these words mean still, but because I'm learning so much, and it's been like I would say very much like one of those humbling experiences, realizing, oh, you don't know anything. That's where I felt like this past like a few months, it's been all of my walls have been just torn down and I'm being rebuilt and just changing and becoming a new person. And it's a crazy feeling, like, and wild, and you're like, whoa, who am I? And then the old man, as St. Paul would call him, the old man will rear his ugly head in there and try to pull you back. And so anyway, where was I going with that? This coming year, though, 2025, though, I want to continue this path of metamorphosis and this never-ending metamorphosis, maybe. I think that's where I was going wrong. Previously, I was thinking, well, you get to a point, you're done. You're never done. No. And that's okay. Because that's what makes it beautiful, is that constant growing. So looking back at last year, the things I said that I was going to do, balance and this and that, have I accomplished those things? Probably not. But I've tried, and that's what matters, is that you try. You try your best, do what you can, And I think part of this little process has been a lot of kind of just acceptance, just radical like acceptance and surrender in there. Especially I'm talking about like making changes. At the same time, the counterpart of that and the part of the balance of it is the surrender to things as well, and acceptance of things, and just working with it. That's been, I think, something I've just learned. Like, just, it was like one of those little epiphanies. It was like, oh, well, this is how it is, and just kept realizing, well, this is how it is, and here are some tangible things that you can do to make it better, and you can also just accept things as well, and be like, okay. But like, there's this kind of, again, like another one of those little instances of a balance is what you can surrender to God, or what I'm going to use that terminology because that's what applies to me, but whatever terminology applies to you, surrendering those parts that can't be changed, that are just going to be, it's just the way something is. And then there's the part that is in your control, that you can have say in and work on and improve your circumstances through. And it's about capturing that and embracing that, as well as embracing that surrender and acceptance. And it's like letting, it felt like just a giant weight was lifted off of me, of just feeling like I could breathe. And there's going to be a little bit of like grief in there and sadness, because, you know, sometimes it's not always a good thing that you're having to kind of realize. Like, I realized, yeah, I'm going to have physical limitations. No matter what I do, I'm going to have flare-ups here and there. Then times are going to be worse than they are, you know, and there's going to be times when things are in a not as good a physical place for me. And that's okay. That's okay. That's just what it is. But what I can do is work on keeping things as level as possible and doing my best to alleviate some of that, and trying to be as strong as I can be physically, in the best place physically as I can get within my control. And it will make that, in turn, the downsides a little bit more manageable, perhaps. And just having that sense of control, too, is very helpful. Realizing that it's not all out of your control, but there's aspects that are, and accepting those aspects that are. And then embracing what is in your control. I don't know if any of that made sense. I really don't, but I have thoughts. And sometimes articulating them isn't my strong suit. But I'm trying. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty. I'm going to go back to my fluffy brush. We're going to take a little more poised. Come right here. And just diffuse that up and out. And really, I think this would be a beautiful stopping point for just day to day. Right here, this could be so pretty for just a softer look. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of oneself again. I'm just going to take that right here and use that as a middle ground, just to make sure everything is looking diffused and blended. Yeah, let me know if any of that made sense to you, if you know what I'm getting at. And maybe you can articulate it better than I can, what I'm trying to say. All right, let's take some iced out. And we're going to take iced out on the inner corner here. This is such a pretty duochrome. She's real fun. It's a really vibrant blue flash in there. And I'm just going to let it fade over. I want most of the pigment to be on the inner part. There we go. Ooh, pretty. That looks really cool and icy. So fun. Ooh, fun, fun, fun. I'm not somebody who enjoys making plans because it does give me a little bit of anxiety. Like trying to look ahead at a whole year, really, oof. And so I just kind of don't try to look too far ahead things because I can make all the plans I want to make. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I just kind of make very tentative plans, God willing. We'll see what happens. One of the plans I do have for 2025 is this spring I will be getting baptized. And yeah, we're just waiting for the spring so we can do it outside and warmer weather. So there's that, and I'm very excited about that. I've also found a church locally that has immediately felt like home. Like, just instantly, the first time I went, it felt right. Me and my husband, both of us, were just like, yeah, yeah. We sat down with the pastor for 3 hours and just, I think maybe missed like one service just because he had to work or something. But, you know, we've been taking part in like some of the fellowship things, and I'm getting like to help out with some stuff now, and it's just wow, like I don't know how to describe the warm fuzzy feeling that I have about all this. It's something I never thought would be a thing and that I would never be a part of, and it feels so good. All right, I'm gonna tidy up some of this fallout, and I understand practicality. You do have to plan things. I just don't get too emotionally, I guess, invested in plans, especially when they're super far out. I actually didn't get too much fallout, a few rogue sparkles, but that's to be expected. Got this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I want to try a little bit of that, just see what it feels like on the face. I've never tried it, so let's give this a go. Oh, this is this is sticky. This is weird. It smells funny. Smells like, well, kind of like skincare, but also like glue. But also kind of smooth. Interesting. Feels hydrating. It just never appealed to me, this type of primer. So I'm just kind of seeing how it feels today. Not really putting it through the paces too much yet because I'm not going to have this makeup on that long today. Okay. Also, let's see. What does... I can feel a little stickiness, but nothing crazy. Like, it's not like what I anticipated. Unless the, like, NYX one and, like, the drugstore options are way more sticky. This just kind of feels like I put a serum on. I don't know. I can definitely feel hydration from it. Alright. Anyway, moving on from there. I'm going to put a little bit of my Lumi Glotion in the lightest shade. I'm going to pop a little bit of this on. Also, I'm not going to be mad at the hydration from this today. But yeah, this year so far, I feel like this is going to be a year of a lot of new things for me. I'm doing stuff that I never thought I would do. A lot of continued change, of course, but I feel like it's going to be good change. And just new and exciting things. I feel like I'm already doing a lot of stuff that I've never thought I would ever do. And it's very enriching and just full. That's what it is. This so far, my life feels much richer now, and so much more full, and I feel so much more alive. And it's just a beautiful feeling, really. All right, let's do a little foundation. Skin Silk from Makeup Revolution, I think, will be the perfect foundation for today. Yeah, I think so much more of a fuller, richer life is what I'm experiencing now. And I realize there's so much more to it than just, I guess, the way I was living. I was living a very, I don't know, I felt maybe a little bit of a shallow existence. Very, just whatever. And I think I spoke previously in a video kind of about joy. That's what I've experienced this year so far in 2025 and in part of 2024 was a sense of joy, even if things were not great, something bad was happening. Because we did, as a family, kind of go through it a little bit with my dad and my stepmom both having strokes and heart issues and all kinds of stuff. And, there's been some challenging things, house issues, like our driveway collapsed. There's been just like one little thing after the next, like garbage disposal exploding, basically, and leaking everywhere. What else happened? Dealing with the roof stuff. Like, it's just been a lot of like really annoying things. And despite all that, it like, all that's just been put in perspective. Yeah, perspective has changed. Like I said, I feel like my whole outlook on life has been completely torn apart and put back together. And just, I know that sounds so extreme and like wild, but it's like I've just kind of, it was something that I feel like was always in me, mindset. And it was like, I put in a very silly way to my husband the other day, which is usually how I put things a lot of times, is in a nerdy tech way of describing something. It was, I said, I feel like I found a file folder on my computer that has been previously like a locked zip file hidden in the system file somewhere way in there, and I just opened it and like ran a program and something turned on. That's what it feels like. It feels like I opened a new program and updated my operating system, maybe. I don't know. And like these files were already there, just waiting for me to find them. That's how it feels. I know, silly, but that's where I'm at in life. Alright, let's do a little contour. We're going to do some e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand in Light. Again, this is something else that was in the favorites. This has also been incredibly enriching in life, or in my life, because it's brought me and my husband a lot closer too. Like me and my husband have grown very close this last, like, I mean, we've always been close. We've always been one of those gross couples that were basically glued to each other. But I feel like we were like on another level now of relating to each other, and it's definitely helped to grow our relationship this past year. This past year and moving into 2025, I feel like our relationship had grown so much, and it's evolved and changed, and it's become something new and deeper, and oh, it's fine. I got a pimple right on my patch of vitiligo, so it's like weird looking there. Like, me and my husband, actually, we had kind of already found another cool hobby with each other in fitness and, like, you know, lifting and stuff. And now we also have a really deep spiritual bond happening that it wasn't like we didn't have that kind of bond before, but it's a new type of bond, deeper. And again, I feel like it was something that was just waiting to be unlocked, and the timing had to be right for everything. Like, if this, I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like there was a very strategic timing to things, and it was a guided feel to everything. But yeah, I'm somebody who doesn't really like making necessarily like goals, because, just to put it plainly, it gives me anxiety, and I usually can't fulfill those goals. Like, I mean, just being real with myself, I almost feel like making them sets me up for failure in a way. Like, it'll backfire. I don't know why I'm that way, but I am. And so I don't like making goals like that, in that way. I like to kind of just work towards something, but not have a specific set in stone thing I'm working towards, in a way. Like, I like to be a little more vague about it, I guess. But if you were to make goals, if you're someone who makes goals, what are yours? So mine is just really to grow spiritually, continue that path, and become more involved in my local community. That is something I really am trying to work towards doing. Trying to do more for others. Get outside of myself. Find ways that I can serve in my capacity in life. That's something I'm really wanting to do. I want to continue my fitness, my weightlifting journey, and prioritize that more, because I feel like that kind of got a little pushed to the side, but I want to keep that pretty important, pretty top tier, just because the physical side of things with the way everything that I have going on physically with my scoliosis and joint deformities and arthritis and Hashimoto's and all of that. That's something I can't let slack, is the physical side of things, is that physical therapy basically that I do myself. I can't let that just fall to the wayside because everything crumbles when I do. All right, I'm gonna take some of the Winky Lux highlighter and Angel. So that's something that just has to be prioritized. Whether I want it to be a priority or not doesn't matter, because it's something that I have to do. So I can do those things that I want to do, like help others and serve, because when I let the physical stuff slack, the gym and all of that, everything else goes with it. I've noticed when it goes, everything seems to just go right behind it into just a little spiral of negativity. So I'm trying to not allow that to happen. And I know that's not going to be something that I'm going to be 100% perfect on. There's going to be times when I can't go 3 times a week. You know, like right now when there's a snowstorm and my husband's on and he's had to work extra 3 days, 12-hour shifts. Yeah, we're probably not going to go lift weights. He's been out there in the snow today working. So, yeah, I think we might just have dinner and go to bed. That's okay. It's okay to not be perfect on these things. But somewhere else that I want to be able to learn how to kind of give myself a little bit of grace. I'm not going to always be able to do all these things, but at the same, and not get so upset about that. And kind of give myself a little bit of a break here at times. It's like, okay, it's okay to miss the gym once a week if you have to. Like, it's not that big a deal. Just go tomorrow. Just go do. And even if the workout's not great, it's better than nothing. Let's do some of this Sun Kisser from Maybelline, another favorite here. This is in the shade Blazing Blush. I mean, is that not the perfect color for today? But accepting that, hey, I'm not going to be perfect at everything. I'm not going to make every single trip to the gym that I plan on making, because things are going to come up. And to not beat myself up over that it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes I get a little, I guess, if I let myself, I can be very, like finding a balance between giving myself a little bit of a break on not being, making it to the gym every single workout day, or giving myself the grace of, okay, you're not going to be perfect every week. You're not going to go to every single gym session, and you're not going to have your quiet time exactly how you want it every morning, or your sleep schedule is going to get messed up. These little things, they're going to happen, and that's okay, but don't go so far into it being okay that you just give up. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And that's where I was having a lot of trouble with that, where it's very, well, it's got to be, I'm super on it and perfect, or I'm a complete wreck and just sleep schedules in the trash, eating garbage, it's okay to just kind of find some middle ground here, and just relax a little bit and just try to find that some balance with that. So that is an aspect that I still need to work on as far as balance goes, for sure, is with that. And I mean, it's a process. It's one of those things you grow, you work on it, you improve over time. It's not gonna happen overnight. All right, let's take some NYX Pro Fix Stick. And it feels like kind of silly to be like, just try your best, but really, that's kind of all you can do sometimes, is just try your best and give yourself a break when you need it. That's okay. I think I can be very hard on myself at times, kind of mean. So yeah, balance is definitely a continuing little journey. Balancing everything in life, not like just work-life balance, but everything, all aspects. And it's one of those things you're never going to get right. You're just never going to be perfect, but you just do what you can do. But yeah, so far this new year has been very, very full in the best way. Full as in rich and good. As in making new friends and just getting out there and living life again. And in a different way than I ever thought I would. I feel like becoming the person I was meant to be all this time, but I had to get there and had to go on this winding little path to get to where I'm going. And remembering, of course, that the journey is never ending. You're always on that little path. Embracing that and the growth of the journey. And not just it being something working towards an end goal, almost. It being enjoying this process of living and learning. And it's just been really very refreshing start to a new year. That's what it's been. And just feeling like a sense of hope and light that I haven't felt in a very long time. So, new Huda Beauty here. We have got her birthday cake, I believe is the shade. Easy Bake. So, it is almost purple. Very bright. And initially, I was like, I don't know what this is going to do on my skin. Because I'm very fair. I don't know if this is going to look like blush on me. And you know what? Actually, it looks really nice. So I've tested it a couple times now. So I'm going to take it on a puff. And the trick is just don't for me personally, is not layering on an absolute ton of product. I don't bake as it is. I do like what I call a little brulee, where I put, a decent amount of powder there, but I'm not like caking it on. So we're just going to do that like I usually would do and just pat some on. And it does give a little bit of a pink cast, but what I feel like it does is it kind of almost fades away, that cast, and just kind of blends into my skin tone really well. And it is brightening. It just looks kind of alive and healthy. It gives a youthful, healthy appearance to my skin. That's not white and pale. Like, it's an interesting look, and I think it's nice. And it was kind of unexpected to me. Like, I'll look back and, I was checking some footage where I was wearing this and pictures and stuff. And I was like, actually, my under eyes look great. They don't look pink. They look nice. And it's a little surprising. So I anticipated this looking very weird on the under eye, but actually I think it looks really pretty. And the formulation of this powder is perfection. It is so smooth and light and airy. I mean, wow. It is. I really would actually like to have this like in my skin tone shade. And I think she has a lighter pink shade as well. I would like to try. And the fragrance. There's a fragrance to this, but I like it. I like it. I know people complain about the fragrance, and I understand. I know it can really bother people, but I like the way it smells. It smells pretty. I'm just putting that kind of all over where I like to set my face. And you can see just with a light hand, it looks really nice. But I've never been someone to just pile on the powder under my eyes anyway. But yeah, this definitely does give a brightening effect. Surprisingly, a really nice product that I didn't think I would enjoy that I do. Or well, I didn't. I was really apprehensive about the colors. I'm like, I don't know about this. Like when I saw it in person, I was like, oh no. Uh-oh. But nope, I like it. But yeah, if you don't like fragrance in your makeup, you're gonna hate this. Now, I do think she does some stuff unfragranced, but this is definitely not one of them. And this is new packaging also, by the way. This is like, it's more like a frosted, thick plastic. Like, it's definitely different. New font. So yeah, she looks like she's redoing things with the brand. And so on the side here it says Easy Bake. It's got rounded corners now. And I think it's really so smooth on the under eyes and blurring. It's a very pretty powder. Like, formulation wise, very pretty. All right, let's see. Lower lash line. Now that I've yapped enough. I'm actually going to take this Jane Iredale pencil, another one of the favorites, in Dove Gray. And we're going to run that across the lower lash line. I'm just going to tuck this down a little bit, because it matches with those other shades. We can use that as a little bit of a base. I guess I could use this on the upper lash line too, I just didn't think about it. But we'll do that as a lazy liner across the lower lash line. And then we will smudge that out with our little But yeah, I've sat down to try like film this video a couple of times now actually, and just scrapped them because it just felt, I don't know, I didn't like it. I felt like my thoughts were not in order. And that, I think part of that was the Hashimoto's flare-up. It does cause some significant brain fog. All right, let's take Poised. I'm taking on one side of this brush. And I'm just gonna blend that out. And yeah, boy, was the brain fog fogging. It was like Silent Hill up there. Foggy. And that's definitely improved, thankfully. Take a little bit more of the black liner, but I just felt too rambly and all over the place to where it didn't feel cohesive. Let's try this again. Maybe we can be a little more structured or make a little more sense. No, here we are. Yeah, all this to say that I feel like a, I don't know, a bit of optimism that I haven't felt in a really long time. A fulfilled feeling that I don't think I've ever experienced. All right, now I'm taking the deepest shade, She's Rich. And it's come through so many places in new ways that I didn't anticipate, and brought so much more richness to my relationships with my friends, with my husband, like. And now on the inner part, let's take some more of Iced Out. You know what? What would apply this really well? Good old sponge tip applicator that I bought these originally to use with Huda eyeshadows. Because hers benefit from this type of application. The good old sponge tip, she's got a time and a place. And it wasn't like Huda wasn't selling a glorified sponge tip applicator that was silicone on our website anyway. And I'm just actually pulling that up a little bit and letting it diffuse. It's a very kind of frosted look. And I feel like in the waterline we should put some more black. I think that'll just suit my eye color a little better. And just let that be a little smoky. A little bit more She's Rich in there. I take a little bit of face powder, so I'm doing on a fluffy brush and just kind of right underneath that eyeshadow. All right, let's do a little bit of blush. I'm going to take the Buttermilk blush from NYX in the shade My Butter Half. Just the teensiest amount. I mean, just a kiss, a touch, tap off, and apply. And for bronzer and highlight, I'm going to jump over to Charlotte Tilbury's Glowgasm. Take a little bit of the bronzer from in here. Just give the face a little bit of warmth because, I mean, we're not going icy, but we don't have to be ghostly. There we go. Just a little bit of warmth. Nothing too extreme. And I'm going to take the blush pop in here. Right there. And we'll put a little bit of that as kind of a highlight. I feel like it goes with the look. We're playing. We're playing today. We're painting. And I think a pinky little cheek is perfect for the cold weather. Back to the brows real quick. I do have a new brow wax from Benefit. Precisely my brow wax. Little mini. But first I'm going to go back to the pencil and just tidy up a little. Because it kind of goofed a little bit. Just touch up with that little edge. The sharp side. Filling in those gaps. There we go. And let's take some of this brow wax. Now, I can tell you already that this is not going to be worth the price. It's just a brow wax. You can get this from NYX. The Stick It from NYX. It's just, you don't need to spend Benefit prices for this. It's fine, but nothing that's groundbreaking. It's just a tinted brow gel that's a little bit more waxy. I don't think it gives super impressive hold any more than anything else does. I think the NYX one actually performs a little better as far as that goes. Let me see. I mean, it's not a bad product or anything. It's just, I don't think you guys spend, what, $20-something for this? Nah, just drugstore. It's got you covered on that. That being said, it's nice. Like, it looks nice. And you can kind of get that laminated look with it. The thing is, I like to apply this after I'm done with all my complexion products because they will stick in it and kind of get that weird cast and clumpy look. Blech, don't like that. And that will happen with that brow gel. Okay, I'm gonna touch up a little bit liner. Now that I'm gonna get my my magnified mirror out here. Another new product that I did want to talk about is this L'Oreal Lumi Le Glace. This is super greasy, is what this is. Now they have two finishes. They have like a glass finish and a frosty. I can't remember what the other one was called. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's glassy. And if you really rub it in, it's okay. But to me, it was very sticky feeling. And not something I want to put over my foundation. Yeah. Let me just kind of give you a little swatch. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful product. I mean, look at that. The thing is, it's sticky. She's sticky. She's unfortunate. And I'm going to see, it says you can apply it over makeup. Maybe we could just, if you did something like that, perhaps. But I find it to be just the type of product your hair is going to get stuck into. And nah, I'm all set on that. That's okay. I don't need something that's going to do that. Maybe the other finish is better, but I think it's going to be more just like the Mega Sticks from Wet n Wild. Yeah, I would just get the Mega Stick from Wet n Wild in the shade, what are we called? When the Nude Strikes. This looks almost exactly like what the other finish looks like, and it's not nearly as greasy. It has a really nice formulation. So yeah, I wouldn't fool with these for the price. No. Nope, that was very disappointing. But I did get that to try out, so I'll let you know. I don't want to put that on my face again because it was a nightmare when I did. So sticky. So very sticky. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit just for funsies today since we are kind of doing this icy look. Well, a little bit of something from Moonchild from ABH, huh? There's a shade in here called Blue Ice. Maybe we need a little blue ice on the inner corner. Maybe. Just a little. Yeah. See? Yeah. A little bit of that right there. A little bit right here. And perhaps a little bit on the cheek. There. I mean, that's fun. I'm going to throw some mascara on real quick. And we'll come back and finish the look up with the lips. See you in just a second. Okay, and we are back for mascara. I used the Hard Candy Make It Double lips. I am going to line them with this one from Wet n Wild, actually. This is one of their gel lip liners in Lay Down the Mauves. Lay Down the Mauves. However you want to say that word. Or one thing I was going to say was, I feel like I was on a mental crash course these last couple of months. That's why I have been long get ready with me type videos where I'm just talking. I feel like there's just been like so much going on up here. And it was just like a crash course through so many different things. Like, I don't know why, but it just felt like, whoa. And I needed to take some time and really get my brain together and thoughts together. Alright, and we're going to take this Maybelline Vinyl Ink in the shade Witty. And within this little crash course of everything and feeling like all the walls in my brain were being pulled apart and rebuilt. It was a feeling of like losing myself and then rediscovering myself, and just this whole like transformation was happening. And it was a lot. It's hard to talk about, really. Like, to not that it's like emotional to talk about, but it's just hard to put in words. All right. I thought that was a good color with this look. Obviously, I think a black lipstick would have been pretty too. Yeah, that's basically a neutral. And I'm going to top this with a little bit of this fat oil slick click pin in Trending Topic, which is one that's like described as a charcoal or something. I thought it'd be pretty over top of that lip. It has a little sparkle in it. Here is our look complete with a lot of yapping. But if you're following what I was talking about and kind of could pick up what I was laying down, the rambling and the whatever it was we discussed, that I'm just like, what even did I talk about just then? I think I was just... Anyway, if you can relate to what I was talking about, let me know down below. And if you have a better way of phrasing some of the things I was talking about, also let me know that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on these things down below. And if you have any kind of a resolution, goal, something that you're working towards in 2025, let me know that down below too. And do you get like the anxiety about making those plans and those goals and feel like, understand what I mean when I'm talking about like, feel like I'm setting myself up for failure by making these proclamations? Yeah, let me know down below about that. All right, I'm gonna shush now and let you go. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that your 2025 is beautiful and it's a good year for all of us, and all the good warm wishes and love your way. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Bye now.